Boom, we're back, and today I'm rolling at a different gym, which is one of our sister gyms, so I'm able to go here anytime I want. Today I'm rolling with the blue belt Chris, who has some crazy strong grip strength, and of course I'm Tyler, the 20 stripe white belt. Now the thing that surprised me most about this guy is that he had crazy grip strength. He was only a blue belt, but he made moving around him very difficult at times because he had such good grips, and I even lost some good positions, all because he had so much power in those wrists. Now I don't know if it's because he's single and he has way too much free time in his hands that he decides to improve his grip strength in recreational ways, but he made moving around him very difficult with that insane strength. I was able to pass his guard pretty freely, but he does a nice job framing against me, and I don't want to go directly against his strength, so I exit side control and I'm going to work on passing his guard once again. I combine a few guard pass attempts by first using a leapfrog and then a backstep. The backstep pass doesn't work as he's able to keep his hips away from me, so I exit and I look for a new attack. And the new attack, of course, is another backstep, but this time when I use the backstep, I'm looking for his head. I'm also looking to control the legs. I could focus on doing a leg attack to my opponent, but that's not going to be my main attack. Instead, I'm going to come into him and then I go shoulder to shoulder. Now this move works by first going up into him and then pulling him down hard as I have my arm over the back of his neck. This allows me to pull him over, and now I'm on top of him working into an attacking position. I want to get my butt to the mat because if I do this, I'm not in danger of him taking my back, but as I go to sit, he pushes me off of him, pulls my rash guard a little bit, and then he's back to the seated position. He doesn't want to try and stand up, so I have to keep entering on him. I snap his head down, and this is to control his posture. Now that his posture is controlled, I can easily spin around him and start to take his back. I just have to make sure I keep weight on his shoulders. I also want to keep weight on his shoulders when I'm behind him, so he can't spin to guard. Now he might not know this, but we're playing by prison rules, so that means I want to put my knee in and put a lot of pressure on his lower region. He's not accustomed to this type of pleasure, but I'm also going to be attacking him with a power half on his neck so I can attack two different parts of the body at the same time. Now he's pushing my elbow away, but as he does this allows me to capture his left wrist with my left hand. Once I have his wrist captured, I can start throwing my hooks in, and now I'm looking for total back control. Then I return to the power half. With the power half, it's very easy to roll my opponent over, but I don't do a good job controlling him once I have his back. I start going towards the head and arm choke, and this is going to give him the opportunity he needs so he can escape. He rolls into me towards my guard, and I decide I'm going to push out so I can go back to the standing position and re-enter on my terms. Now you're going to see why I generally prefer to use standing passes. Once I enter his guard, he's doing a nice job controlling my shoulder and he's looking towards the shoulder clamp. Now I have my posture broken and I'm not in a great spot. It's in moments like these that you need to concede the fact that you're not winning this position and get ready for the next one. I know he's going to sweep me, so as he goes towards the sweep, I rotate on my head and I start going belly down so I could always look to attack his legs or to wrestle with my opponent. Now the wrestling game begins for me in bottom front head, and my head is right around his crotch so I can get a good smell of the atmosphere. Since it's not my favorite smell, I'm going to want to exit this position as fast as I can. I start peeling his hands because that's the first thing you have to do to escape front head. Once my hands are free, he decides to circle, but I'm able to grab the leg. The key part when I'm grabbing his leg is I have to control his leg and keep my hips on top of it. If I allow his hips to come up, he's going to have my back. So I make sure I put all my weight against his right leg, and I need to keep him down. He eventually concedes his left leg over my back, so now I know I'm free and I have to try and work to pass his guard. He has this wrist captured similar to a Kimura, but I'm able to free my wrist, and now I can start working against his leg and hopefully shuck the leg by to get a nice pass into side control. Like I said earlier, I generally prefer standing passes, so I'm starting to push his knee down and then he's going to push me away as I was standing up. I couldn't keep enough pressure on his leg so he's able to return to that position, but I do a nice job keeping his feet captured because I'm bringing my knees inward. Now let's quick do my question of the day. My question today is, what techniques are you currently working to get better at your game? Lately, I've been doing a lot of neck attacks and neck cranks just to control their posture, but let me know in the comments below. I'm looking to pass his guard here as I go for a quick backstep pass. I'm not able to get my leg past him, but I am able to control his shin, so I stuff the shin, then I bring my knee in to pass his guard. Once I have passed his guard, he's doing a nice job again framing against me with some strong arms. This time I'm going over his neck and he's trying to roll towards his belly. To stop him from rolling from his belly, I'm looking for the bonus head, but his arm is in my way, so I shove my knee over the arm as it was getting annoying to deal with. I like to keep this control on the back of his neck so I can keep his posture controlled. I would love to be able to set up a Darce, but he's doing a good job keeping my other arm away. He's also going to try and stand up with this, but he does a big flaw. As he stands up, he leaves a huge opening for my right leg to come in as an initial hook. I throw the leg in, then I start bringing in my second hook and I control his wrist immediately. Once I have both my hooks in and the wrist controlled, I pretty much have the full back control that I need to set up my first attack. I would like to set up a rear naked choke on him since I have such good back control on him, but it's going to be tough to do from this current spot, so I need to transition and I'm trying to move my right arm around. Once I move my right arm enough and I decide I can't get to the rear naked choke, I of course go towards the power half Nelson because you're always going to see me using this to turn guys. It applies so much crank on the neck that he's forced to roll, and now I can lock up the body triangle. Now once I have this body triangle, the next thing I want to do is control his wrist and maintain wrist control. Then with my right arm, I'm trying to get it around the neck. I'm pushing it across his throat, but I also want to turn his neck. If you can turn their neck, it's going to apply a lot more crank to them. It's going to be far more difficult for them to control. Also, if you have a body triangle, make sure that you're squeezing with the triangle. You want them to be uncomfortable here, turn their body one way and turn their neck the other. He does a questionable call by going to his belly, he goes belly down, and this basically guarantees he's going to get submitted by the rear naked choke. Now I was able to tap him, but he actually did a great job defending up until that point. Passing his guard was not as easy as it is generally with most blue belts or even purple belts, so great work by him. Now I hit a great submission on him, but I'm going to label this one in steps so you guys can also do this in your roles. Spoiler alert, it's a guillotine. Step 1, I have to pull the head down to control his posture. Step 2, I have to threaten the choke, so I bring my right arm in. I know he's going to defend it, so I have to follow his movement, then I throw my arm in again. Once I have the arm in, I decide to sit over the legs to get past his guard, then I can pull him backwards and squeeze for the tap. See, doing guillotines is that easy. Make sure you do those same steps in your role, and if you like those tips, make sure to like and comment telling me that you appreciate the steps, and I'll try and do more of those in the future. So he didn't defend that submission nearly as well, but that's fine because generally guillotine is one of my more preferred submissions and I hit it on tons of people, so no shame in tapping to it. We're starting from the standing position once again, and I'm deciding how I'd like to enter his guard. You will see me kick my legs free all the time when I'm standing because I don't want him to have any control over my ankles or shins. I'm trying to push against him and enter with a nice knee cut, but he brings his head close to me. If their head is ever close, I'm always going to be pulling on the neck because I like to control their posture. Now I've entered in this closed guard position, but I was able to get my knee down to the mat, forcing him to half guard, and I'm able to pass the guard quickly as he was looking for the shoulder clamp and trying to figure out which way his hands go. I think his cardio was a little lower after the first submission because passing his guard was extremely easy this time around. I'm passing towards the head because I would love to be able to do a Kimura, but I think that probably wasn't the right call because remember, this dude had crazy strength in his arms despite looking a little smaller like me. But for the sake of the internet, just imagine this dude was like 6,000 pounds, so it was really difficult for me to get any submission that wasn't a choke. Fortunately for him, when I have his back controlled, this is bringing us towards the end of the round. So if you appreciate the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I love reading all the comments you guys leave for me, so if you want to say anything interesting, make sure to comment it below, and hopefully I'll answer you. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate all of you.